Hey guys, today in the lead up to the release of their brand new single Parable on September 25th, I'm joined by frontman Brad Andrew of Brisbane's For the Wolves. Such a pleasure having you here today, Brad. How's it going?
It's going really good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So firstly, tell us a bit about the track. What was the inspiration behind Parable and what was involved in the writing process?
The inspiration for the track has a lot to do with time, I think. I think if we look back at the song itself, I think a lot to do with time and the evolution and the change of a person over time. So it's like a really kind of cool, a deep topic to dive into. So there's a lot of metaphors and cool stuff going on in that tune. As for the writing, typically come together pretty much how all our songs come together, and that's just us playing around with some riffs and some ideas and some beats, and then whatever starts to kind of fuse together, we really just kind of let that happen organically, and then the song forms out of it. So in respect to this one, we're really happy because it has a lot in there. It has a lot of heavy, soft, psychedelic, aggressive, so there's a lot going on. So at the end of the day, it's pretty cool to kind of piece all those parts together and have a really wholesome overall great song, I think.
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of variety of elements in there.
Yeah.
So is this something you started working on during this lockdown period, or did you guys already have a draft or demo in the works prior to this?
We had a demo for this song probably in the last year. I think early this year. We actually played it a couple of times live early in the year, and the response was great. And we always kind of knew it was one of our better songs. So we were ready to go into the studio when that time come around. And then I think we hit the studio in March to record this one, and then we banged one song out in about a week, 6 or 7 days. So yeah, it was kind of ready to go. But then as you go into the studio, the process changes and the song takes on new meaning and new ideas and stuff like that. So it kind of evolves in there. But for the most part, we had a brunt of the song ready to go when we got in there.
Okay. So your latest release, The Devil You Know, was clearly a big step up from your previous work. And after listening to Parable myself, I can definitely see this trend continuing. How would you say your sound has developed in the 2 years since your Karma EP? So how does this new track fit into the progression of your music as a band?
Yeah, I think that I think when you start out as a band, you really start to find the core elements of a band that really work together, you know what I mean? Simplified in the terms of like rhythms, drums, guitars, vocals, and you really start to figure out these elements and what works. And then as you start to piece them together, you start to go, okay, we've kind of done that. We've got the meat and potatoes there. And then how do we kind of make this different? And how do we kind of make a bit of a niche for ourselves? So for us, it's really been about, I think, bringing the psychedelic component into the heaviness, and then really creating those soundscapes and those that juxtaposition between the heavy and the light. And like you mentioned before, which is great, thank you for saying that this song has a lot of that going on. So for us, it's just about kind of tweaking those little bits and pieces. And there's just little moves here and there, but you sort of open the song up for a bit of space, then you might have a really heavy part that goes into a lighter part. So for us, it's just really on focusing those things and how you kind of differentiate each component. So as we kind of make them a little bit different, hopefully as we go along, the sound and us as a band and our songs will start to change a little bit. So I think you can kind of hear a little bit of that happening in this song, particularly from like The Devil You Know to Parable. Like you can hear a big shift in that, and I think that'll just keep going.
Okay, so it's definitely great to see how you guys are really developing your own sound as opposed to just being, we want to be like these guys and just really following the crowd.
It's easy to do.
Yeah. So The Devil You Know was also accompanied by a music video produced, I believe, by Breakdown Productions in Queensland. We haven't heard any word about a Parable music video, but is that something we can potentially expect down the track?
Yeah, I think we've sort of thought about a music video for Parable. I think what we're probably going to do, maybe not so much this kind of standard type of music video style that we did with The Devil You Know, which is really awesome. It's like, it works really great. But I think with this one, we kind of maybe want to explore using the artwork a bit differently and then just putting out some sort of video content related to the song as opposed to a music video itself, You see that a lot with bigger artists now, like they're not really putting as much of an investment into the music video. I don't know if it does what it used to do, the typical music video. So definitely some video content from us, whether it's, I don't think it'll be something like The Devil You Know, probably something a bit different, maybe a bit weird, psychedelic, and a bit off kilt. So yeah, it should be good.
Okay, well, I definitely can't wait to see that one when it comes out then.
Yeah.
In terms of For the Wolves music style, I know you frequently credit Soundgarden and Tool for inspiring your sound, but is this still the case, or do you think your influences have changed over time as your music's developed?
Definitely changed, I think. I think once you kind of, if you're the kind of artist that gets bored easily, which we are, then
Mm-hmm.
you're always looking for something new. I think you can always pick up, for me being a guitar player, I can always pick up a guitar and play something along the lines of Soundgarden or Tool or whatever it is that really got me into it in the first place. But when it comes to creating the artwork, I think you really have to kind of look for other influences. And that's definitely happened with us over the years, you know what I mean? So as you've kind of done the big riff-based song, now you need to find something a bit different and you start listening to different types of music, different styles. I mean, funk, soul, all different types of music to really figure out the components of what makes those songs work. And
Mm-hmm.
hopefully we can drag a bit of those into what we do. So to answer your question, it definitely changes, and I think it'll just keep changing as long as we do it.
Okay, so at the current time, who are some artists you're really taking inspiration from?
A band, I can speak for myself. I mean, a band that I'm really digging at the moment is a band called All Them Witches out of the States. They're like a really kind of southern blues rock, but they have like a real psychedelic ambient sound to them. And I love that. I think that's really, really great. So that's a part of our sound that I think we've really tried to craft and hone over the last sort of few months. And I think we'll keep doing it. And, what I like about them is just, they're just a band with 3 or 4 components: drums, bass, guitar, vocals, but the way they get them to work, the sounds, the moods, I love that stuff. So yeah, that's a big one for me at the moment. All Them Witches, check them out.
Okay, so following on from your 2 singles so far this year, what else can fans expect over the coming months? So is there any new music in the works already?
Yeah, there is. So we're working on new music even as we speak. So that new song will be coming out Friday, and then we're literally tracking the new song now.
Mm-hmm.
So I reckon probably in another couple of months we'll have another tune out, and then the plan is just to keep going. And then hopefully some gigs. We'll see. We're going to book in a gig I think for late November. See how that goes, and then if hopefully it starts to get back to a bit of normalcy in the next few months, and then I think gigs will be when we want to focus that time. You go as a band, you kind of go from writing, recording mode into gigging mode. So I think we'll come out of writing, recording mode, and then we'll get back into playing live. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. So it's been a while.
Okay. So leading on from that point, actually, I'm sure you're well aware that many artists have been participating in virtual concerts in place of regular gigs due to the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. What are your thoughts on this? Is this something For the Wolves have considered getting involved with?
Yeah, we have. I mean, I think any band that likes playing live, I think will reluctantly turn their attention to that because, you can't replace having an audience in front of you. It's like, it's what you do it for. It's like a drug. It's amazing. But when you do that, it's like, obviously nowadays you can't. So we have to turn our attention to it. So yeah, I think we will. Like I said reluctantly, but at the end of the day, I think, if you really get involved with that kind of stuff, like the virtual setup, recording, live streaming, I think that the world's your oyster. So definitely something we're looking at. And I think we'll probably get some stuff going in the next few months for that as well.
Okay. And lastly, for anyone watching who's unfamiliar with your music, how would you describe For the Wolves in just a few words?
Aggressive, a lot of energy, and then there's a little something else. I don't know what that something else is or what the word is, but yeah, I'd say aggressive, energy, and then something else.
Something else like that.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Unfortunately, that does bring us to the end of the interview today, but thank you so much for your time today, Brad. It's been such a pleasure chatting, and I wish you guys all the best with Friday's release.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure chatting to you as well. And thanks for paying attention and blasting it out. And we appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, no worries. So to everyone watching, be sure to stream Parable from September 25 and like and subscribe to be kept up to date with the latest. I'll see you next week. Bye.